93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday, everybody. Woo! Oh, new football season, new lineup across the board. Changes have been made. New faces, new voices, familiar voices. Different times. Different matchup, different combinations.
Got to keep them on the toes.
Hey. To quote the late, great Roddy Piper, just when they think they have all the answers, I change the question. Oh, man. We want to spice it up a little. You know, you're comfortable and familiar, but hey, let's give you a little something to work with here. That's all I'm saying. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln Highline. The Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. We're up. And we're here for you. I need to give a shout out to the folks from Lincoln Kiwanis because I'm going to pop over there after 11 o'clock and go down there and talk to them. I'm honored and flattered that they would ask me to come in and talk to them and get them hyped and ready for football season. Talk a little bit about the radio business, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to pop over there for lunch and meet the folks. Good stuff all around. Last week we did some of the great rivalries, right? Some of the great rivalries in WWE and wrestling, in general. We went past WWE. We went to just wrestling in general, because you can't talk about it without talking about the Vern Gagnes and the Nick Bockwinkel's. You have to bring in Texas wrestling with the Von Erichs. You can't just specialize and focus and feature in the Northeast. You gotta, or the Mid-Atlantic or Georgia wrestling. You gotta include everybody, right? And great rivalries were basically the greatest pair of superheroes versus the greatest pair of heels. Those are the best rivalries, right? In tag team wrestling, you're getting two different types of superheroes versus two different types of villains, right? The Road Warriors at a level required somebody to be great with them. There's no point in being great by yourself. You need somebody to compete against. Right? Somebody to compete against. Simple. But if we're going to talk wrestling, you've got to engage. You need an entrance. You need something that sets the table to let you know, it changes the temperature of the room. That's what wrestling entrance songs do. Like, no matter there's a moment where if you're at a WWE event, it goes silent for a second, right? And it's vanilla and clear and the palate is cleansed. And then all of a sudden there is a beat dropped that tells you at a Pavlovian level what your next response is going to be, whether it's to cheer, whether it's to boo, whether it's to dance, whether it's to march, whatever that is. And each one is the very first wrestler to utilize music to set the tone is one of the all-time greats. No, it's not Ric Flair. You got to go back farther than that. You got to go further than that. You got to go to Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George not only had that resounding music, that classy music, because he was better than the peons who were paying to see him do what they did. People came to see this pompous jerk get beat up. But he thought he had an air and an elegance that they just were beneath. And as a matter of fact, as the music began to play, he would have a valet spray perfume as he walked down the aisle to remove the stench of basic people. Right?
Fair enough.
Right? Like if you're gonna go big, right?
Yeah.
And so it was spectacular. So over the course of this hour, we'll talk about the greatest villains to ever exist. And I'll take yours. So just chime in to the Start Him text line, either your greatest villain, and I don't mean heel, because there are people who had a stretch as the bad guy, but you were kind of force-fed them as a bad guy, and they were only an issue for you because they went against what they had sold you as truth. By villain, I mean just really bad guy who happened to be a heel as well. Right? So we'll go through that, and then you can also text in your favorite. And if Bach agrees with you, he will play your entrance. So whatever you text, if he agrees with you, let's say that we'll play 5, right? Bryce says the best entrance song is "Real American" for the Hulkster. Bach, what say you?
That's a pretty darn good one. I mean, that does get you going.
Right?
And that's interesting, too, because I saw you say the other day, and then this is, it's not Hulk, but it's naturally connecting with, is Andre the Giant. You think he was the greatest wrestler of all time?
Yes.
Did you say that? Yeah.
Yes. Because he had to adapt to people. There was nobody like him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always the feature. Like if you could it's kind of like Alabama football. Georgia's the national championship, but if you were having 2 games in 2 stadiums side by side, which stadium is going to be filled at a higher level, Alabama or whoever's Georgia's playing? It's Alabama. Like you can, when the Lakers are good, the Lakers fill the arena better than anybody in all of basketball. That's how you know it's the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State could win, but Golden State's going to have to win for the next 40 years to equate themselves with the Lakers. Like it's there. We know that the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, but who's the franchise? It's still the Patriots. Andre was always the guy. And with Andre, and the reality was that every wrestler who was on a card with Andre, who is in a match with Andre, had to bow down to Andre and say, hey, listen, what are we going to do? Like, what are you going to let me do in the ring?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are you going to let me do? Like, can I hit you here?
You don't want to make him mad.
Like, can I jump up and kick you in the face? No, Andre doesn't like kicked in the face. No. You had to ask permission to slam Andre. First of all, you had to ask permission because you needed his help. Like, it's not like you folks who just walk around picking up 500-pound dudes.
Right.
Like, that's just not how that works. So, Andre was everything. Anywhere in the world. There was never a point in Andre's career, once he was 27 years old, Andre was always the top feature. And easily the most recognizable. Right? He's the guy. Like, oh, I don't know wrestling, but that dude's the Giant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Andre? Yeah, that's Andre.
Well, it's just interesting because, like, if you look through, and I don't know the stuff's scripted, so that's part of all the fun, right? But if you look through like championships, they didn't give him that. He was always the guy that you kind of overcame. So I always find that fun, like interesting too. Like Kane is in the same manner, not like Triple H or Randy Orton or Ric Flair or John Cena or these guys have like 13 championships, but they're just there's spectacles in their size. So that's always a draw, especially for a live crowd.
Plus, I mean, think about it this way. Every world champion, the job of promoters was to get Andre to come in and accept losing in whatever way. And it was very rarely a pin. Like it was very rarely you didn't pin Andre. But to not just go off the script, who was going to beat him? Think about that. He would do 200 dates a year. 125 of them, based on his numbers, were for heavyweight titles. And every one of those nights, Andre was the favorite, and every one of those nights, Andre allowed somebody to keep the belt. And at any one of those 125, Andre could have just said, look, man, I don't like you. I'm going to smack you unconscious and take your belt and then leave. I'll leave the country. I'll go to China and wrestle for the next, because Andre controlled his schedule. So he would wrestle in Omaha on Saturday for a title against DiBiase, and then get on a plane with DiBiase's belt, and there's nothing they could do about it. So that's why he was the best. Like, that's why he was the greatest. Yeah, and Jeremy, you're right. There's an iconic moment when Hulk picked up Andre, but Hulk told the story when they did kind of a rivals thing, and they talked about it, and Hulk told the story, and Hulk said, look, man, I was nervous. First of all, this was Andre as a heel. So at any point, if Andre just decided to smack Hogan across the jaw, it was lights out, fight over. And he said, again, that thing, especially later in Andre's career, where Andre was in pain. So that match, that's why they said it. So Andre was driven to the ring. Andre was in such incredible pain from the decades and decades. Mm-hmm. And again, of carrying that body around, like he could barely walk, right? This was a different Andre than young Andre, who would raise his leg and kick a 6'6" dude in the jaw. Andre wasn't doing that at that point. And so it was, Andre had to trust Hogan not to hurt him any worse than he was. So a lot of times Andre would just go, nope, you're not. I think he allowed 5 people to slam him total ever.
Yeah.
5. Wow. Wow. Right. But that's why I put him at a different place, because there was nobody that sold tickets like Andre. There was nobody that delivered like Andre. There's nobody that elevated the sport like Andre. There's nobody that carried great wrestlers like Andre. Like, when Flair wrestled Andre, it's different than Hogan. It's a different match than Hogan fighting Andre. Different match altogether. Mm-hmm. So Andre was able to do that. Now, mind you, he wasn't the best technician, but he was the best wrestler, the greatest wrestler of all time is Andre.
And clearly, I mean, I think part of that is just, given the biggest rub is that if you beat Andre, you've overcame like the biggest obstacle that you're going to face.
That was it
in that era. So you couldn't get a bigger crowning. Like if you're trying to push or promote somebody, that's the crowning achievement. Right.
Like it's a big deal. Right. That one, you're allowed to do that. But yeah, there just wasn't much. Somebody asked on text, I asked who slammed Andre. Well, so there are a couple of things. Because it was such a big deal, very few. Ultimate Warrior slammed Andre during a house show once. The phrase is receipt, right? That if you're going to ask Andre to do it, you're going to pay. Like, you're going to pay. Well, Andre made Ultimate Warrior pay, and he gave him receipts. Like, he smashed Warrior because of that. Smashed him. Hogan did it. Butcher Vachon did it. Yeah. He also paid receipts. Harley Race did it, and it was the greatest thing of respect that was ever done, because Andre allowed. I mean, Harley Race and folks will tell you, out of the ring, Harley Race was one of the legit bad dudes ever. Like, Harley Race beat up more dudes in bars than anybody in America. Harley Race was legitimate, and then within wrestling, it was another guy that if you wronged Harley Race in the ring, he was gonna get you.
Oh yeah.
Like, he was going to get you. So Stan Lariat Hansen also got him. And Hansen was a different kind of dude as well. And this was actually at a time where Hansen was damn near blind is the story. So imagine being in a ring with a 300-pound dude who can't see, and so he doesn't really know how far away from you he is.
Uh-oh.
So when he punched you, he thought he was punching at 12 inches, and he's actually at 6.
Pretty
and you're
important
taking
in wrestling, yeah.
like you're just getting punched in the head, and you don't know why. Paul the Butcher Vachon slammed him, and again, another thing. Got receipts in the locker room after the match. The Wild Samoans doubled up to do it. So back in 1982, right? Roman Reigns' dad and his uncle slammed Andre the Giant. Right? But they loved each other. Like they were friends, real tight friends out of it. Ken Patera, the world's strongest man, right? Who really was the world's strongest man at the time. And Bobby Duncombe, Cowboy Bobby Duncombe, who, again, another one of those Texas strong men, raised a bunch of sons who played middle linebacker in at Texas and in the league. Kamala was allowed to slam Andre once. They were like really good friends, so this was a thing that was done. Antonio Inoki, who probably raised more money with Andre the Giant than anybody, because he would go to Japan and they were treated like kings. And so Andre would go back and forth in the series that was going over. He let that happen. And then not unknown, maybe not as known as you would think, but Otto Vons, who was one of the great trainers of all time, was allowed to do it at 6'2", 375 pounds.
Wow.
Large man. But there's very few folks who are allowed to do it. And because of that, Andre was respected. And again, he was regaled as everybody's GOAT, because quite frankly, now we could get into maybe next week, another time, we'll go through the best ring technicians, guys who just in the ring were better than everybody else, guys who wrestled. You start with the Harts, right? You can, that's a pretty good space. Chris Benoit, guys who did it, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, that stuff. And Jordan and Wilbur, you are correct. The one thing more legendary than Andre's career is his drinking stories. And yes.
And he's a villain, right? I mean, they very rarely face turned him, because he, like, naturally you don't relate to him as a crowd member.
Who?
Andre the Giant.
Andre was a face.
Was he often?
Andre was a face. Andre's job, because the greater ticket sales, and this is part of the psychology of wrestling and the marketing of wrestling, the greater ticket sales is when you have a villain who you pay to see get their comeuppance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will pay more money to see somebody you dislike get beat down than you will to see somebody you like win.
Yeah.
So if you're in what you would do is Andre would pair up his tour with heel champions. Like, I'm going to come into town and I'm going to kick your dude's tail. Like, oh, you think you're the guy. You've run roughshod over everybody. You've made these people sad for 6 months. Well, here comes Andre to just gangster pimp slap all the villains of the world. He had the one stretch again against Hogan. And this shocked the world. It shocked the world for him to go heel and go against Hogan. But it was like Hogan, and it was great marketing for him to say, listen, I've been letting y'all carry these belts for a while. Y'all need to respect me. Like, Hogan, I could take your title anytime I want. Great marketing. So there's that. Bach, let's set the table for the rest of the hour. We have a theme song. Let's play one to kind of set the table for the standard of theme songs. Again, you guys can text in your favorite theme song, and you'll see it's up to Bach whether he wants to play it or not. But you guys can text in your greatest theme song on the Starter Heyman text line. Bach, what do you got?
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody.
It's me. The D-O-double-G. Oh, they did such a good job of getting people in line to do these. Can you find? There's a couple. Just jump on YouTube and see if you can find. Of course, Josh, you're right. I'm a fan of CM Punk's cult of personality. That's why I use it as a part of one-on-one. Let's see. Let's come up with one that you can use. How about the Midnight Express? Is that or the Rock and Roll Express? The Rock and Roll Express. You know my favorite one? You know what? No. You know what? So the Freebirds were another one that really started to use before they started using the song Freebird. When they first came to Atlanta, they went Bad Street USA. See if you can find Bad Street USA, and it was Michael Hayes and Terry Funk and Buddy Rogers, and they made a video of them like how Jericho does with Fozzy. They made a video with them to Bad Street USA.
Let's see. Hopefully it's off the top.
Let's see what it is. Let's see if you can get it. It's pretty cool. Like I just remember that one being. And you can imagine Mike Hayes with the long blonde nappy hair, and he throws it behind him. Come on! Hopefully they have the singing. Because it's.
Pick up here.
This ain't no home sweet home. It's home sweet misery. We knew when we got here. They tried to pull us away. But when they see us walk down the street, they ran the other way.
Hit him!
Back street in Atlanta, yeah. Back street in the whole USA. Back street,
I don't know why that popped in mind, but I just remembered that was one of the few ones where they did like a whole video vignette of them in like some alley, behind the station, right?
When's the last time you heard that one? Has that been a
It's
while?
been a while. Like I forgot, but just in my head, it just hit me that was one that it was kind of cool. Let's see. Can you find Al Snow? Al Snow went through a phase where he was selling that he was not sane. He was not well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he needed a tag team partner, and he couldn't find anybody because his brother, the professor, Lenny Poffo, wouldn't wrestle with him anymore. So he took the head of a mannequin and wrote his name as Head. His name was Head. The mannequin's name was Head. And he would come to the ring, and it's him and his partner. And every time he raised it, everybody in this crowd would yell, Head! And so what did he do? He and Vince McMahon came up with an idea for this song and this entrance. Brock, do you find it?
Is it Head?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he would go to the ring, and he would grab the microphone, and the song would start, and the song goes, what does everybody want? And he would raise the mannequin's head, and everybody would yell. Let's see if it translates.
All right, it's about to get here.
Everybody wants.
There you go.
What does everybody need?
What does everybody need?
Oh, Oh man, that's so good.
Good old attitude, Eric.
Right. You have several people, Terry included, who asked for Christian and Edge. So we'll go to break. We'll allow Bach some time to pick 3 entrances. We'll play those next. You have the entire break to text in and tell Bach what songs you want to play. We'll let him play 3 when we come back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich, dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Join me, Jake Balkovin, and the Husker Hall of Famer Eric Strickland this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Mercado at 84th and Havelock. Spend $25 and get a free 4-pack of grass-fed, grass-finished hot dogs. That's all on Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Mercado at 84th and Havelock.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at Oak Street Carpet.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 Oak Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
On the Block with Strick and Bach.
He obviously played against MJ when he was with the Bulls. Could you tell when you guarded Wizards, MJ, that is different than Bulls?
I mean, he still was crafty. He still was very cerebral, still had great hands. So his post-up game and his mid, all that stuff was still efficient. You know, his actual pump fake game was even more effective. He just didn't have that same first burst.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to One on One. Bach and I, full disclosure, we are not having any fun.
That's right. This is
Bach,
tough to get through.
Pay the bills.
The 10 to 11 Friday hour is the fastest hour in radio, sponsored by Allo. I like my cars, delivery drivers, and internet the same fast. I'm talking the kind of fast that delivers equal upload and download speeds, buffer-free streaming, and lag-free gaming. Switch to Allo for 500 meg and 1 gigabyte speed options, plus free installations always. Call Allo today in Lincoln for residential at 402-480-6550 or for business at 402-480-6500 or chat with them online at allofiber.com.
Thank you, kind sir. And it is the fastest hour in all sports radio because we're having way too much fun. That's what it is. Time flies when you're having a blast. Bach, sir, we had 23 requests, 23 texts over what you should play next. What did you decide is play worthy? This is Bach's WWE jam list. Bach, what's number one, sir?
Well, they used to have, in the wrestling video games, they used to have it so that you could create your own wrestler and then come out to a theme song. I always chose this one.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got
Hit the pose, Bach. Look, there should be a rule that we play this every Friday. Like if we were going to do a TikTok for the station, this would be the song. This would be the song to do it to, right? Just to have Nick just walking through the station. You know who would do this? Nathan.
Yeah, Nate would love this.
Nate would.
Get a nice walk going.
Oh, he would lose.
There's something just wrong about Shawn Michaels being bald these days. I know it happens to everybody eventually. But
Right.
man,
Bryce, you're absolutely right. Like it could be the intro to every show on Friday. It just sets the tone. You can't come on, a little bit of swagger, a little bit of arrogance. And I think we should come up with, for all the hosts, they have their own theme song.
A theme song.
They should all have a theme song. I think we should do that. All right, Bach, what's 2 on the Bach list? Come on, keep it moving. Again, we got a ton of texts. But what's on your list? What do you want people to walk into Friday with? This is to start off their weekend. Bach, what do you got? What do you got?
This might be my favorite one. And he just turned face again, so he's back at it with this one. There's probably going to be an ad, so I shouldn't. But here we go. There it is.
You think you know me?
Great song.
Oh, yeah.
Great song.
on this day. I see clearly everything has come to life.
Like literally everybody.
How can this not get you going?
Like this needs to be a Bach lip sync.
Oh yeah.
Like this is a Bach TikTok.
There's a lot of requests for this on the text line.
Yes. Oh, a total jam. A total jam. Look at Josh. Look at the text line. You guys are hilarious. It's like Edge, like a full scream.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, and the only
so
thing,
good.
but we need you to grow back your long Bach hair.
Oh yeah. I
to do that video,
yeah.
right? Like, so you can flow the hair. Like, we need that from you. All right, so let's go one more. Let's go one more for Bach's top 3. And again, you guys, if he hasn't hit play just yet, you can still text in. We've got another segment. Simple stuff along the way. Bach, what's your number 3?
Well, this one it's not necessarily mine, but I've noticed a lot of off the text line asking for this one.
Okay.
We're gonna have to wait a minute as YouTube
What has
does.
to buffer and
Yeah.
do your thing along the way. We didn't
Yeah.
preload them. We wanted to be fluid, like do it within the show.
If you've heard the open on the block, I'm a big Kurt Angle theme fan too.
Oh,
but,
can't go
wait
wrong
with that one. Here we go. This was requested quite a bit on the text line.
Stick your tongue out. Thumb up.
That's right.
Which this also became a thing in local folk dancing stores. Because they would just play the word and he would scream out loud. And they were like, hey,
There it is.
don't call me that.
He was cool. He always have an American flag and a 2x4, right?
Right? Like it's there, right?
That's
like,
cool. I don't care who you are. That's cool.
Right? Simple deal. That's so good. Man, that's so good. So we had a texter say that Triple H time to play the game. We played that last week, and it was good. What do you NWO theme song? Does that resonate with you?
Not immediately. I'm trying to
When
think.
you said Kurt Angle, I thought you were going to play. Oh, it's true.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know if that's the way you go. I would say this: that Undertaker's American Badass was crazy good because it was the polar opposite of his Undertaker.
Yeah.
And so for him to do that, and then Hollywood Hogan is Hendrix. You can't go wrong with Hendrix as an entrance song. So a couple of things. Folks have yelled out who the villains are of all time. So here's the space that we're in. Of course, you got to start with Gorgeous George because he was the first one to actually use heel to market pro wrestling. Because the whole point back then was to create supervillains, superheroes and villains, right? Compete, the construction worker versus the intelligent one, or the pretty one versus the ugly one, the skinny one versus the fat one. Gorgeous George said, I'm better than all of you. And that's the target. Like if I tell all of you that you're better, that you're less than me, all of you are going to respond and not like me. And per dollar, the greatest ticket seller in the world, right? So that's the standard, that he was so good at just tearing everybody apart. Then there are guys, Josh from Dorchester, your future, you're in my space. You are dead on who the greatest villain of all time is. So I'll take you guys on the text line. Tell me who the greatest villains of all time. Hollywood Hogan turned it. Like, while he was the greatest hero, he was also the greatest villain.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he turned, remember the reaction that he got? Do you remember that they threw chairs in the ring?
Yeah.
Like they threw everything in the ring.
Which, by the way, that was like commonplace in the late 90s.
Right, like just like
cans and popcorn, like everything in the ring. What was that?
Beer bottles.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. Texture says Roddy Piper. So Piper's Pit, think about this. It was so exceptional in that they created a space for people to get their heads handed to them. Right? And Piper was exceptional at demeaning everybody. Like Piper was friends to nobody. To know nothing. They've tried to mimic that. Edge was pretty good. Jericho was pretty good. I thought Jericho, you made the list, was top shelf.
That was really good.
Like
stuff, yeah.
top shelf. Like, okay. You made the list. What do you like? That was fantastic. But I go to guys like Kamala when he was first brought in. Because we didn't know how weird. George the Animal Steel. Like before they made him lovable, he was one of the scariest people. Like this dude ate the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Like we were just like, what's wrong? And we weren't smart enough to think that this dude ate a green lollipop before he came out in the ring, and that's how he got the green tongue. Like we didn't think that way. The Wild Samoans scared people. They literally like. There were kids, remember seeing them and you go, wait a minute, them dude came out of the ring and they were scared. Chris Benoit legitimately, and here's the thing. Remember that Benoit for a time, Benoit was a face. Like he was a face, one of the great technicians ever. But as I've told on this station several times, me and my buddies used to watch Chris Benoit like, oh, Benoit doesn't know this is fake.
Yeah.
Like he wrestled like he really thought
the Wolverine.
like this was like
It was every bit of his nickname.
Right? Like we really thought, oh my goodness gracious. This dude thinks he's fighting for his life in there. Like what a great sell. I go back to Larry Zbyszko, who turned on Bruno Sammartino, which back in the day was a big deal. The Midnight Express with Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette.
Oh my God, they're so good. They were so good. They were so good. I mean, when you can get it to where the wrestlers really paid attention to the people outside the ring. Like as a valet, I'm not sure anybody, Freddie Blassie and those guys were great at poking you with a stick or a cane or otherwise. But when Cornette would talk you into hate, he talked people into hating him. Not in the Freddie Blassie pencil neck geek way, but he would degrade you to the point where you went, oh, this dude really don't like me. Like, okay. If I asked you, who is the guy that you actually booed, Bach? Who did you boo?
Well, I'm interesting in that I kind of like the heels, so that's
right.
part of it. I'd have to think back to when I was younger, who I really disliked. Because I do. I get kind of interested. I get kind of fun. Maybe I'm evil. I don't know. I have a little bit of an evil side.
So who? But here's the other thing. Then maybe you're the greatest villain of all time because you're rooting against the good guys. But who do you root against?
Who do I root against?
Yeah.
Guys that get over pushed. John Cena. I mean, Super Cena.
You don't think he deserved it because he carried it.
He did. I mean, as far as making money and creating a superstar, he did. It gets to a point where it's like, and it is at this. I think Lesnar, they've kind of refreshed him, but he was kind of
he was stale because he wasn't even there.
But it's just like if the surprise like this last year's Royal Rumble is one of my favorite things to look forward to every year. But if Lesnar shows up and it's like, okay, that wasn't exciting. That wasn't surprising. That's the same guy you've been pushing for the last decade. So if those guys kind of get, I like new stuff. I like.
But we don't think about this. That Roman Reigns as a heel has had a great run, and we don't hate him like that.
No, all of a sudden I like Roman Reigns.
Like we don't hate him the way that you're supposed to hate people who do what he does.
Yeah. But as a face, people a lot of people were.
They hated him as a face.
They were booing him.
Hated him as a face. Cena accepted that. I can go back. I went through a phase where, so think back to WCW. There was a time when I hated the Four Horsemen, but then I respected the Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen was the greatest faction of bad guys to ever exist. Like they did it with Reigns and Seth and
and Ambrose.
Right? They did that with them, but they weren't. They had a great stretch. Flair, Batista, Triple H, that group.
Yeah.
DMX. I didn't hate DMX because they were funny. Like they were funny. They were great heels, but they weren't great villains. They were funny. Villains were dudes that you were scared of, you were afraid of, and quite frankly, they just weren't nice people.
Yeah.
They weren't nice people. So we'll go to break. Bach will pick a couple more songs. Again, you guys can text over the break, and then I'll give you the greatest villain of all time. Piper's in the top 5, though. I agree with you guys that Piper's in the top 5, but we'll get to the greatest villain of all time when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Not headed to Dublin to watch the Nebraska football season opener? Don't worry, we've got you covered. You can tailgate and watch the game right here. Join 93.7 The Ticket, Ambition Electric, and Steve's Garage Doors here in our parking lot for a tailgate and watch party. Joe from Ambition Electric will be serving breakfast and lunch while our hosts get you ready for the game with the Ticket Tailgate pregame show. And best of all, it's all free. The Nebraska Northwestern Tailgate and Watch Party. August 27th, beginning at 9 a.m. right here in our parking lot at 330 North 48th Street. Brought to you by Ambition Electric and Steve's Garage Doors.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles, but now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to buy, bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
I present the fruitcake. Long the subject of jokes, ridicule, derision, but did the fruitcake accept its place in the culinary totem pole? No! The fruitcake sought to rise to its full potential at Beatrice Bakery. Premium nuts, high-quality fruits, and the delectable trio of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Grandma's fruitcake is no punchline, but a decadent treat that packs a punch of flavor.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's like a jungle sometimes. Makes me wonder how I keep from going under. I want to thank Bach for stepping up and stepping all the way in this week and getting us through this week with Rico out. Greatly appreciated, kind sir. Good stuff all the way around.
It's been blessed.
Let's close out strong as we yell constantly. Finish strong, baby. Finish strong. Bach, what do you got, man? What do you got?
Oh, we're again working on a little bit. How about this one?
Hey, yes, it is.
It's an absolute bop.
Yeah.
Like can't even.
Cool.
Come on, man.
And they came to Lincoln for a SmackDown. You and I went to Raw this last time. The last time they came for a SmackDown was actually when Kevin Owens turned on the New Day. Which was like 2 weeks after he joined, so I thought it was going to be too early.
No.
We weren't going to see it. I love heel turns in person. That was awesome.
No, they weren't going to wait that long, right? Like they weren't going to wait that long. All right, what else you got, Bach?
Let's see. Got to get through this real quickly.
The promo phase. Well, that's the beauty. It's the fastest hour in radio, bro. We.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand.
See?
They talk to me.
Come on.
There we go.
Come on, get your knuckles down, man. Get your knuckles in the mat.
Yeah, he's got like people complain because he's got like Randy Orton has like 4 moves, but they're so good.
Yeah, like I don't need, but he is a great storyteller in the ring. Like that's why it matters. That's why people they go the Eddie Guerrero theme song is powerful. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm good with that. Bob, give me another one here. I
Come get on the train.
Flipping ain't easy.
Things that were allowed at one time that wouldn't be allowed now.
Chris Raff says we need some Val Venus. I think Raph, I think you're right. I think you're right to do that. I'm not in shape enough to wear the towel and do the Val Venus performance. But Bach, go ahead, man.
Hello, ladies.
It was such a great set off. Right? It's such a great set off.
Yeah.
And he would get in the ring with that grin and that smirk, and it's nothing but a towel. Nothing but a towel from Val Venus, baby.
Hey, look at that
The
guy.
captain is in here. The captain is with us. Of course, he likes talking a little wrestling. He likes talking a little wrestling too. Give me one more, Bach. Give me one more. We came up with the list. Let's come up with one more. I think it's the one for one of the greatest villain factions in history, the NWO. I think that's it.
Yeah, we can finish on that one.
Yeah.
After this ad.
Right.
After these messages.
How's it going over there?
I
man?
do want to say, so let me give the greatest villain ever, and then we'll play the last song. Actually, that's whose song we should play. That's whose song we should play.
Okay, well, we got into WWE real quick.
Okay.
There it is. Nobody's cooler than Scott Hall coming out.
Right. Which you could use his intro as well.
Yeah.
When he was, the bad guy. Diesel was always good, right? But we need the theme song before I tell who the greatest villain in all of pro wrestling is. We need his theme song because there are some dudes who are just like, when you think they're bad guys and then they do something way worse than the worst thing you ever thought they could possibly do. And there's one dude in pro wrestling who, quite frankly, just when you think he's done the most horrible thing and you hear the most horrible thing, you find out that no, there's a worser thing that this dude is capable of. And it's like where you go, dang, man, you that bad? You are that awful? Well, the facts say he is, in fact, the greatest villain of all time. But if you would please.
Let's see if we're on the same wavelength here.
Yep. Walk like you got a pair. You want me to do the right thing? Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's right.
The greatest villain in all of pro wrestling history. Legitimately, just when you thought he has done the most horrible thing ever, Vincent Kennedy McMahon says, nope, watch this. I'm way worse than you expect. Don't go anywhere on a Friday. We're celebrating. Hey, can you beat the ticket? Nope. Can you get a better show than the Captain's show? No chance. Hey, y'all have a great Friday. Love yourself, and while you're at it, love the next one. 2 fingers. Deuces.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Old Street Carpet.